Hello and welcome to the Sometimes Serious Show, where we are sometimes serious all of the time. In today's episode, we'll be talking about Sony's State of Play, the Culling coming back, and some wrestling news for all you wrestling fans out there. Let's get started. Okay, and how are you guys today?
We're fine. You're not going to intro us?
No, I am, but you know.
Okay.
So today I'm with Philip Edwards,
Hello.
Michael Palmer,
Hello.
and my dear old bro, Callum Phillips.
Hello.
So,
But real quick, who are you?
Who am I? Who are you?
He is the concept of just any existential crisis.
Why did we invite the concept of existential crises on the podcast?
For the lols.
Yeah.
Like, at what point, 30 minutes in, is one of us going to get struck and we're just going to drop out?
Yeah, it's a game to see who can last the longest.
Right, it's on.
and I am your host, Tom Comeandstrokehisbeard, is how it's
That's not a
pronounced.
real surname.
It's not. I'm certain it had something to do with pine cones. Because I said it last week and I'm certain it does.
Man, even my brother's forgetting how to properly pronounce my name now. I don't know how I feel about this.
I feel good about not being able to pronounce it, if that's any consolation.
Okay, so today I want to start us off with something that's just going to be very small, very in and out. The Battlefield 5 current controversy. Have you guys seen this?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm guessing that was a yes, but a yes that didn't want to be admitted yes.
Well, I've read it, but I've never played like Battlefield 5, so...
Okay.
Why are you, a woman hater?
Ooh. You'll find out there's quite a few big games I've not played.
Which we will get onto because it's
Just hates
quite
women.
interesting. Okay, so Battlefield 5 has released a new elite character. Now these elite characters are special characters that you can play as in the game that have their own look, their own skin, and I think maybe abilities. I'm not sure. I'm probably wrong about that. But this new character they brought in is called Steve Fisher. Now, Steve
Good
Fisher.
name.
Yeah. Steve Fisher is a badass American who is basically just a rip-off of Tom Cruise.
I thought you were going to say he's an operative of the third echelon and brother to Sam Fisher.
All right, calm down. Everyone wants it. No one's getting it.
Oh, please. I would love another...
Splinter Cell.
Yep. Wow.
I was waiting.
You love the series so much.
I love the series so much that I actually forgot the name. That's how much I love it. So, this character, in the trailer, it's shown him being, by the looks of it, interrogated by two guys sat in front of him, or stood in front of him, sorry. And he sat down on a chair, and he's talking about how he's been around the world, he's done this, he's done that, how you wouldn't want him as an enemy, you'd want him as an ally. And then it continues to show different scenes of him in different countries and different war zones. One by just shooting a bunch of guys, the other one by throwing a grenade down a bunker and then walking off and it exploding in the background. And just basically everything that Tom Cruise has done in basically just any movie he's been in. So what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Wow.
They're trying to make a badass just by going, look, he's so cool, right?
Yeah.
Look at him go.
He could throw a grenade.
Yeah.
Not only did he throw the grenade, he didn't look at the explosion. And I mean,
yeah, and that's the important thing.
that makes him the coolest.
Yeah.
How stupid.
Yeah.
Thing is though, is this is a far cry from what the Battlefield 5 community has been wanting. The Battlefield 5 community has been begging at this point EA, DICE, and Battlefield to bring out or add the Russian faction. So people want the Russian maps. They want like the Russian part of World War II, because at the moment they're doing a very to take a quote here, it looks like that someone's just done a bad fan fiction of World War II.
Well, that definitely gives a very, very wrong image for someone that's not played it. A really bad fan fiction, and now I'm thinking lasers. I'm thinking flying robots.
Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, Nazis! Oh no, please!
So, it just seems like that that DICE's response, or more likely EA's response to the people wanting the Russians, is just, oh, you guys want Tom Cruise? Sure, here you go. Tom Cruise. Everyone has Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise for everyone.
Can I make your life just a tiny bit worse?
Go for it.
Because I don't think you saw it. EA and DICE announced that after the update that's coming on May 23rd, they're stopping support for Battlefield.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Okay. It's dead. You're never going to get anything. The last thing you're going to get is a Tom Cruise wannabe.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why fans are like, we never asked for this. We asked for the Russians.
Where's D-Day?
Yeah, but, see, this is something that boggles my mind. That there is a game on PC called Postscriptum, which is fantastic. And again, it's a World War II like simulator. And in the most recent update, most recent update came out last month, I think. And it included D-Day. Like, but not just the beach, like the entirety of that scene, like the entirety of that battle, and it's incredible. And then you think, like, so if a much smaller studio like them could do something that DICE either hasn't been given the chance to or just doesn't want to do, it's like, what does that show? You know?
It shows EA's looked at the monetization coming from Battlefield and gone, not really worth it. That's all that shows, is that EA's gone, meh.
Well, it is a live service, and looks like that live service hasn't quite worked out.
And let's also harken back, turn your mind back a year or so ago to when Patrick Wilson said, well, if players don't want to buy it, they just don't have to. You're either going to like it or just not buy it. It's fine. Well, turns out they didn't buy it.
Wasn't that in response to the trailer, though?
Yes, in response to the whole backlash of, like, this isn't historically accurate. Why on God's earth is there a woman with a prosthetic arm fighting on the front lines
and
next to an airborne soldier with a katana?
Yeah, there was that entire post pointing out everything that was wrong, and it was like, oh yeah,
I can bring it up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, something like an Allied tank dragging a German cannon along, or some rubbish like that, and it was like, what? What have they done to this?
Go for it.
I can find it and read it out. Just keep vamping for a second.
His response reminds me of, it's not video game based, but have you seen that a Star Wars executive producer, like yesterday, responded to fan criticism by saying, well, it's not real.
I suppose that's technically true, but if you write a bad character, they're a bad character.
And that's one of the executive producers that was on the film.
Wow.
Saying that.
Wow.
So you don't go to a fandom like Star Wars and just go, yeah, well, it's not real.
That is
do you reckon
equal to going, you guys are just nerds.
Do you reckon they were told that if they did that with a straight face, they'd get a large sum of money as a bonus?
Probably, definitely, most definitely.
It is Disney.
It's probably more that someone just got angry that all this criticism was coming at them, and they think they made a good product. They're going, but Rey's an amazing character, and she's so fully fleshed out, and you root for her the entire way through the movie, and she needs to be Palpatine's granddaughter. It just works.
I will fight to the death. She either should have been Obi-Wan's, or they shouldn't have brought back any of the original characters.
I can agree with that.
I would love to weigh in on this, but I only watched episode 7 and decided to not watch the other 2 because I watched episode 7 and went,
Good choice.
oh, that was a thing.
I know we're going off track, but they released the script, the original script for Rise of Skywalker when it was called The Duel of the Fates.
Okay.
And they put the First Order across very Nazi-ish. They had a guillotine that had a lightsaber blade on it.
What?
And they were just murdering civilians to put across their power. General Hux was a Jedi fanatic who kills himself with Mace Windu's lightsaber when it's revealed that the First Order are going to lose. And Kylo Ren has a force fight with Darth Vader and gets his ass handed to him.
That I would have loved to have seen.
Like, literally, it's basically Darth Vader smacks a bitch up and goes, "You're a pussy."
To be fair, it's not shown ever how powerful Vader is, and I think
it's
that's a
not.
big downside.
I was saying this the other day. I was watching his fight in Rebels with Ahsoka Tano, and even how he is in the new Star Wars game in Fallen Order. You don't see any of that in the films.
No.
He just comes across as a very slow, very kind of bleh.
Sort of lurking to be menacing. Like he's some
Apart
sort of
from Rogue
bouncer.
One.
Apart from Rogue One.
I've not seen that.
Oh my god, there's an amazing... It's only like 2-3 minutes, but they show him as a true horror movie villain. He is evil, and you're kind of like, oh god, just run. That's all you can do is just run.
Mind you, even then you can't do that.
No, it's true, you can't. I've got that recap for the trailer if you want it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, just to recap, British and American paratroopers with one handicapped female jump off a British tank, clear a house, then the British Ranger with the katana flees from British tanks. The sniper jumps onto a German Kettengrad, drives past a British tank towing a German flak and past a Tiger 1. Then a Messerschmitt crashes and you don't engage the pilot. Pick up an MG42 with some muzzle brake that never existed, watch British soldiers use a German Pak-40, then you run with German soldiers, shoot one, throw a grenade friendlies through at the Germans, back to your friendlies but shoot it mid-air, then you charge with Japanese soldiers, who were the Axis, and pull out your German P-38 that you had with you as a British paratrooper that was driving on a tank. After the V1 detonates, a German paratrooper, or the pilot of the downed Messerschmitt, strangles you and a crippled woman comes to kill him, when suddenly German paratroopers came in a formation normally the Americans would use.
Yeah. World War II fan fiction.
Yeah!
The only thing that would make that more convincing is Hitler riding a unicorn.
No, see, if that happened, it would have turned the whole game silly and fun, and it would have been great. The fact that they went, this is realistic, we're going super realism.
They should
Really?
If they should have either gone super realistic or done what Saints Row did in the third game and realised they were never going to compete with Grand Theft Auto.
And just went
Exactly.
absolutely bat.
Which
Batshit
Saints Row the
mental.
third and fourth were. They were crazy because they realised we're not going to be the new Grand Theft Auto, so we might as well go extremely over the top.
But that's what you went to Saints Row for. You didn't go to Saints Row for this super realistic gameplay. You went to Saints Row for taking a sewage hose from a fucking truck and shooting houses with poop.
Yeah.
And a very phallic bat, because why not?
Exactly.
Or the dubstep gun.
I I will hear
I
no
love
insults
that.
towards that dubstep gun.
I
That is
love
the greatest gun.
It's a phenomenal weapon. I love you could get different skins as well, like it turned into the heavy metal gun or the
Yes.
cheesy pop gun.
Oh, the heavy metal gun was great.
The Christmas version of the gun was. Ah. Ah.
Why couldn't they have done that? Why couldn't they have just made a decent game that was absolutely mental?
So over the top. like kind of like Wolfenstein. And some of the
Yeah.
We're not counting the third one, right?
No.
I was gonna say.
There was never a third one. Youngblood does not exist in the Wolfenstein franchise. How dare you?
Okay. So moving on. The Culling.
Ugh.
I have no. I know nothing. I am essentially the Jon Snow of this conversation.
Okay. Well, the Culling was one of the first games that done the whole battle royale genre. Which is a fact that people tend to forget, myself included. Now, the game wasn't
That's a bit
always
weird.
that.
You saying myself included, even though you're the one who just brought it up.
Yeah, but I only remember because you brought it up last week.
Did I?
Yeah.
You did.
So, the Culling originally started off as a somewhat popular game. And then obviously the boom of PUBG and Fortnite and all that happened. It then released the Culling 2, which was so clearly a cash-in. Like, it was a carbon copy of PUBG, but just, like, no effort put into it. And literally, no one played it. Like, Jim Sterling said in his video that the most he ever played on in a game was with 11 people. And that was at launch.
Sounds like a great game so far. Perfect game.
I'm sold.
8 out of 10, too many people.
You literally can't be sold. It was within a week they pulled it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Anyway, the developers of the Culling have come back. And they have resurrected, not the second one, the first one that wasn't dead anyway, but they've resurrected it. And they've called it the Culling Origins. Okay, it was the first. Sure. Now, the thing that myself and everyone else is trying to wrap around their heads is they're trying to do almost like a battle pass with this. But instead of paying monthly for skins and all that kind of stuff, you're paying monthly for matches.
What?
So you can buy. There's a free pass. Let's say free pass. There's a 7-day pass for £3. I think it's $3.99, and it includes 7 days worth of matches. So
What?
once you buy the game, which itself is $7.99, you need to buy more matches. You need to buy tokens to play matches.
But that's not necessarily true now, is it, Tom? Because you get one free match every day.
Yes,
The
that is
Culling, in
true.
all its generosity,
That is
decides
true.
to give you
What?
one free match every day.
And here's the
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
If you win that one free match, you get another match as a reward.
Oh,
How
wow.
generous of them!
Oh,
If you win a battle
silly
royale, you get a token to play another match.
Now, their most expensive tier is $7.99, the exact same price as the game. And that's 30 tokens, so 30 matches. That's it.
Wow.
So,
Wait a minute. Wait. You get a free match every day. You get one token every day. And if you win, you get another token. But you're not going to have anyone to play against because literally everyone else lost and they don't have a token and they're hopefully going to be sensible and not buy them. It's like, congratulations, you've earned a token for a match that involves you.
But
Congratulations, you played
Hang on.
yourself.
if it's only you in the match,
You
you
win.
have to win it.
Yeah.
So you get another token.
Okay, but have you ever had an argument with yourself and lost? Because I have.
I think that's just you. I'm not certain how you could lose a battle royale against yourself when you're the only player in it. Considering the game is to get to the last survivor. Like the moment you spawn in, you go, yes!
No, sentient guns. That's the issue here.
You might jump off a building too high.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, you would still have been the last survivor, so you get your next token to play a game again against yourself.
You trip over your own
Perfect
foot,
business model.
There you go.
You're not even in the area to fight, and just before you get there, you trip over and shoot yourself. That's it. That's how it ends.
Oh, I was hoping you'd be advising people who go out and purchase the Culling Origins and then purchase like a 30-day pass to play to shoot themselves, because that you clearly have no sense if you're doing that.
I am detecting a slight flaw in their business plan here.
You're right. They're not charging enough.
I can't believe the Culling one died because they messed around with it so much and they couldn't keep up with the genre as it exploded around them. So they released the Culling 2, which died immediately because it was a dirty cash grab. And then they go back to Culling 1 and do this bullshit?
And turn it into a cash grab.
Yeah, are you kidding? Xavier Games, are you kidding? This is going to fail immediately. I mean, no one is going to do this.
You said it was a somewhat popular game before PUBG in there, didn't you?
Yep.
Like, was it actually good then, or was it just the first of its kind, so everyone had that sort of honeymoon period?
It was, imagine PUBG, but on a much smaller map, and a majority of the weapons are melee.
I would automatically hate that, but it sounds more interesting.
Yeah.
It's... I played a little bit of it. It's to give it credit, it was not bad.
You played your one free match.
Okay.
Not bad is what on like Metacritic? 5 out of 10?
If I go with Metacritic, I'd give it 55. Maybe not even that.
55 on Metacritic is really low.
Right. So this is a quote here from Forbes magazine. $5.99 gets you the game. You can try it out for a day before you buy. And then a single match for free each day after that. After that single solitary match, you'll need you'll need to pony up more dough. Each match will cost you until the next day's reset. This would be a terrible, no-good revenue model for any game, but it's especially awful for a battle royale. Anyone who plays the genre knows that a single battle royale match can last anywhere from 15 minutes to 15 seconds. I can't count the times I've dropped into a match only to be gunned down before I could even find a gun.
Yeah. I'm absolutely agree with that.
And there is a tweet from the Culling 2 that just simply says, "The Culling is back. TLDR, servers live Thursday, May 14th, Xbox One now, PC later," which is a big weirdo. Big performance enhancements, not FTP, not free to play. But if you ever played it, you have it. Which, excuse me? $5.99 on Xbox Store if you never played it. 1 free online match per day. Additional tokens options available. And then
2 things real quick. 1 free match per day, but you have to buy the game.
Yep.
So it's not free. You paid. And I can't remember the other thing.
Well done.
I mean, to be fair, they did say it's not free to play, but if you ever played it, you have it.
Oh, I remembered. Xavier Games, the developer, they did come out about the PC release, and they did say there was some unique issues, which is why the PC release would be delayed. Except it came out on PC first. when it first launched, it came out on PC way before it came out on Xbox.
I think I'll give this one a wide berth. Funnily enough.
I think you'd be right to, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, as you can clearly see, a horrible shit show.
What do you mean it's the perfect business model? Come on. EA's got nothing on them.
I'd just like to say, this has to fail. Just on a serious note, this has to fail. Because if this does not fail, can you imagine a game like Apex Legends picking it up? Or
Oh, no,
EA
please
looking
don't.
at this business model and going, actually, hang on a second. I'm sorry, Xavier Games, but you need to go on the pyre. You need to be made an example of right here and now. This cannot stand.
If EA did this for FIFA, there would be uproar. Can you imagine paying per match on FIFA?
Okay, but can I just say that the sort of people that generally play FIFA, and no offence to you if you do, but the sort of people that do always buy FIFA anyway.
But yeah,
It wouldn't stop. That's
For
the
me-
thing, it wouldn't stop.
this is the thing. I'm one of those. This sounds stupid. I'm one of those smart FIFA players. Like, I don't insist on buying the game every single year because it hasn't changed much.
Good man.
Yeah.
I still play FIFA 18 because it's just as good as FIFA 20. In fact, probably based on all the bugs, it's better than FIFA 20.
Like you've looked at the bottom one and gone, no, this one was far more polished.
Like, and honestly, if I want to buy a game because a transfer's happened, I just manually make that transfer happen. I just go, oh, what's that? That player moved to that club? Yeah, I'll just do that in the settings. There we go, that saved me 70 quid.
Oh, but don't you want to get invested in your ultimate team and spend thousands of pounds on packs?
I was saying this to Tom before you guys came on. I don't have PlayStation Live because I don't like people. I don't play online games because I don't like people.
Do you know
Welcome
what?
to the podcast.
Fair. Yeah.
I love playing a game for a phenomenal story that keeps me engrossed in the game. I'm not a huge fan of battle royales. I've played them, but you just get so many knobheads on there.
Hello.
To me, that you three are exempt. But it just ruins the game for me. I'd much rather play something that's going to engross me for a good couple of hours than having to constantly start a new level or a new battle royale because I've died or because I've won again and again and again.
I can definitely understand that.
Hello.
Is this where you're slowly removing your Fortnite t-shirt or your PUBG hat because I've said all that?
No, it's his Apex shoes.
Yeah, shut up.
His Apex shoes. They're like Converses, but they're just fucking ugly.
They're just branded with an Apex logo, and he brought them for an exorbitant price. He was like, "Woo, Apex shoes!"
What's that? Only £1,000? Yes.
That's a steal.
I mean-
Real quick, I know this is a massive diversion from the original topic, and actually going back to this is on topic. How much do you think you've spent on Apex Legend on that battle pass alone?
No.
However much it is just to get the premium. That's it.
And how many levels have you purchased?
Only using spare. I don't purchase coins to purchase levels, if that makes sense.
I know factually you have spent money in that game to purchase levels.
No, not to purchase levels. I've spent money in that game to get the packs when the events have happened, but not for the battle pass. Not solely for the battle pass.
Okay, that's better than I thought. I thought you were one of the suckers who was going, "Ooh, the battle pass started. Let me buy every level."
No. Season 3 is the only one that I never got to 100 on, and I finished it on level 69. And the moment I realised that was going to happen, I just went, I'm not doing another level. I've got to leave
You
it
went-
as it is.
I did this deliberately, I swear.
I'm one of those where, like, I'll buy a DLC, but I don't get the point of, like, spending more money on a game you've bought to make it better. I'd rather buy the game and it be there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I got very, very excited because my favourite game of all time was on the PS4 store for £12 the other day.
What game is that?
Final Fantasy X.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
fair enough.
yes.
It was on the PlayStation Store for £12 with the sequel as well, remastered. So I was like, yes, that's me done for a good 95 hours gameplay.
Come on. Plus the other 100 odd of just Blitzball. Come on.
Oh yeah. Like my original PS2 card, but like I've still got the memory card with my Final Fantasy X data on. I'd won all the Blitzball leagues. I had all the hidden weapons, all the hidden Aeons, and I
still got back and play it.
I will never get rid of that memory card because it has it in case I ever get it on PS2 again. Like I have it on PS3 and PS4, but I might buy a PS2. You never know.
Is anyone else finding this a bit strange that we have someone? It's like a culture shock from where gaming used to be to where it is now. Because where it is now, microtransactions are the norm. I just recently spent with 30 on Red Dead 2 online just because I was like, well, let's just skip some of the grind, and it was in my mind a good purchase. It's a weird culture shock to have someone going, like, I haven't been corrupted like that yet.
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and
you poor person.
Honestly, I really like it. But one of the things you can buy is you can buy a like an EXP boost.
Yep.
So you don't have to grind as much. I was like, well, that takes like fun out of the game. I don't know if I enjoy that grind. I enjoy seeing my character actually get stronger from me doing it than just going, yeah, here's £5, boost them up 10 levels.
Well, they initially did that because they deliberately nerfed the initial grind. So when the game first came out, the XP gain was so slow that you actually had to have the XP booster to keep up.
I acknowledge, because I literally bought it the day it came out. I had it on pre-order with the season pass. But then I only got the season pass because I got 2 DLCs and the Assassin's Creed 3 remastered as the season pass, which was good value for money. But I noticed when they originally nerfed the EXP grind to how it is now, I noticed the difference immediately because it took me so long to gain the first 4 levels to complete a mission. I don't think I'd ever killed so many wild boar.
I will quickly say that I'm glad you didn't bring up a different game. I really am. I'm glad you only used Apex as an example.
Oh, I was gonna turn it on there, but there wasn't a decent segue into mentioning Warframe and how much money you've spent on Warframe. What is it, $2,000 now?
So how much money have you spent on Warframe?
I wouldn't be able to tell you without counting the bobbleheads that I have on my ship.
It's close to $2,000.
Oh man,
it's shockingly close to $2,000.
It is. It really is. But I will say that my decision to do that was actually led from one of the worst grinds I've ever felt, and it was in that game. And I will say I still love the game. I still love the gameplay. It's just there was one particular character I was going for. I needed to get all the bits, and then the length of time it took me. Oh, the amount of missions I had to run that were just the same thing over and over and over again, just for the RNG to go, here you go, there's that bit you need. That I literally turned around and went, I am not doing that again.
You sound like someone with Stockholm Syndrome, because instead of going, this game beat me down, so I'm going to tell it to get lost, you went, this game beat me down and abused me, so I gave it $2,000.
If it's of any help, I literally spent probably about £200-300 on Black Desert on just outfits. Just outfits.
Why would you willingly admit that?
was going to say,
Why?
mine I could use. Mine weren't just aesthetic.
Because I wanted to look like a pirate.
What, you spent 300 quid on looking like a pirate? Please tell me no.
A pirate, a knight, a really cool knight, a really, really cool knight,
None.
another cool knight.
Why didn't you just
You're
pick
really-
the best looking outfit? Oh, I get it, actually. Instead of picking the best looking outfit, you needed a daytime outfit, you needed a nighttime outfit, you needed a
Exactly.
going out outfit, you needed a staying in outfit.
I even bought underwear and pajamas.
I take back all of my insults about you spending money on Warframe, Menzies. I'm sorry about that.
Tom,
You are forgiven.
Yes.
Tom, is it too late to disown you?
It's never too late. I'll speak for him and say it's never too late.
Cool. You're no longer my brother.
Okay. Bye. One game that I don't mind giving money whatsoever is Monster Hunter World.
Yes.
I've given that game
Okay. Yeah.
probably close to 150, maybe £200 in just
Every penny well spent.
yeah, like in just the extra emotes, the stickers, just like whatever. Like the game's like, hey, here's some new stuff. I'm like, bye.
Here's the massive difference, though. With a game, using Warframe as the example, with a game like Warframe, it abuses you constantly and expects you to pay. Monster Hunter went, hey, here's all of this free stuff. Everything we're going to do is free, apart from the major expansion, Iceborne. But then they've added so much free stuff onto Iceborne, and they've gone, there's this extra stuff if you want to give us a bit of extra money. You know what? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You earned it. You earned every single penny.
It's such a
I
good
was
game.
going to say something in Warframe's defence, but it really would come across as Stockholm Syndrome.
But they love me.
No, I was going to talk about how they got rid of that that roulette wheel-like thing that they had made inadvertently, that some guy within about 3 hours spent over $200 on, and they just immediately looked at it and went, yeah, no, we're taking that down. We're reworking that. That was
be
not
fair,
our
that was-
intention.
That was really good of them. And
Yeah.
Digital Extremes deserves all the credit. They have done a way better job than almost anyone else in the industry. I'm looking at UEA and Activision. They've done a way better job than almost anyone else. But Warframe's better. Warframe? Oh my god, Lord, kill me. Monster Hunter is better. Monster Hunter World is one of the greatest games ever made. Full stop.
I was going to say, did I just give you Stockholm Syndrome by proxy?
I put more time into Warframe than I care to remember.
I know. I just, I don't want to think about how much time I've put into it, though.
I can look real quick.
No, please don't. Don't. Just don't. There is a reason I have not gone back to play it, because I know that I'll be stuck playing it for the next 3 months.
Okay, so to move on from that subject, which vastly got off track,
Sorry.
Well,
there's some WWE news that has recently broke into the mainstream. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is, one, because myself and my brother are huge wrestling fans.
He's not your brother anymore. He disowned you. Remember?
Oh yeah, sorry. Myself and this person over here are huge wrestling fans. And this news is, some of it is really nice. It's just so wholesome, and it's just awesome to have this kind of news at this point in time. And the other one is just kind of shows how petty a company can be sometimes. So to start, I presume you two know who Becky Lynch is, yeah?
No. Yes.
Okay. Well, Becky Lynch is an Irish-born wrestler. And she's basically like probably the biggest thing in the company right now.
They had to beat Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, just like, I mean, obviously, I imagine you know who Ronda Rousey is.
not a clue.
Oh, but come on.
Yes, I do. Ronda Rousey was a UFC fighter originally, and then she moved over to wrestling after she did her time in UFC, and she was super powerful, super awesome. And then she moved over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know.
All right.
So,
Teacher's pet.
Becky Lynch recently, on the most recent episode of Raw,
Yeah.
announced that she would be stepping away from the ring. She announced, she never specified how long, but judging by her announcement, it's going to be a while. She's pregnant.
Good for her. Congratulations.
Yeah. So congrats to Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Now that's like the way how they announced it was just brilliant. It was so good. So Becky came out. She was very tearful, very emotional, which immediately got me like, oh no, okay, what's going on? And then she brought out Asuka, who is another women's wrestler who recently won a match called the Money in the Bank. And the Money in the Bank is a match where 6 competitors climb up a ladder to unhook a briefcase that has a contract in it that lets them fight the world champion or champion of their choice at any time. Now, the winner of the Money in the Bank normally carries a briefcase around with them, but on the opening of Raw, Becky had the briefcase with her, even though she didn't win the match. She was in the match because she's a champion. So Asuka, the original winner, came out, and Asuka didn't just win the Money in the Bank. It was revealed later on that she actually won the Women's Championship. The Women's Championship was inside the briefcase, not the contract. That's because, as I said earlier, Becky Lynch is leaving. She's on hiatus. Now, the quote that Becky Lynch said is, "You go be a champion, and I'm going to go be a mother." And when that happened, just like pure excitement, happy, just everything was all over Asuka. It was such a genuine reaction. It was so wholesome. It was beautiful. It was amazing.
Well, they
Go
sorry
on.
to butt in. They revealed obviously that Asuka was told earlier on in the day that she was winning. She was being given the title, but they didn't tell her why.
Ah, okay.
So the news of Becky being pregnant, Asuka's reaction was a genuine reaction.
Yeah.
'Cause that she was more excitable because she knew she was being given the title, but she didn't know why. And I think the thing that people assumed the worst when Becky came out all teary-eyed was because when Becky Lynch was 22, she broke her back.
Oh, right.
And she retired from wrestling for 7 years. And so everyone was kind of more worried that she'd injured herself because she hadn't wrestled since WrestleMania. So there was this concept of either she's going to come out and announce her retirement, or she's come out and announced that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And thank God it was the
Yeah.
That's super sweet, though. That's a super nice way to do it.
It was.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of shows how, like, all the silliness and stuff like that in wrestling, you know, like, take that away, and like when you have these genuine moments in wrestling, it can be something really special. Like I've always said this to you, Philip. You know, like I generally believe that wrestling is one of the best forms of media to tell a story. Like if a wrestling story is done right, it can be so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I will say this to anyone: if you ever have the chance to go to a small indie wrestling show at your local sports hall, do it.
yeah,
Because it's phenomenal.
How long until it comes out that Vince said, "So, what are the chances that you want to go with a storyline that it's my baby?" No, Vince. No.
Well, it's Vince McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Mm-hmm. The man who wants Vince wanted to do a storyline where it would be revealed that his daughter's baby was his. And
What?
His daughter was like, "No, I'm not doing that." So he goes, "Okay, well, how about your brother?"
The man who once ran down to a Royal Rumble ring and tore both his glutes at the same time.
So he was just sat on his ass, like arms on his hips, just looking like a really bad granddad. Like a really angry granddad.
Literally, if you go look for the footage, so there was a Royal Rumble match where Batista and John Cena accidentally eliminated themselves at the same time, so they had no winner. And Vince marches down, angrily doing his march, and as he pulls himself in the ring, he tears one glute. He stands up, tears the other glute, and he's just sat against the ropes with his feet out straight.
With his arms on his hips, like...
Hands on his hips, maintaining the character, telling the referees that this cannot continue.
Wouldn't that be the indicator that, maybe you're pretty old, maybe now's the time to retire?
But then also, in the most recent Money in the Bank match, because of coronavirus, they changed it slightly. Instead of it being in a ring, they had to fight their way through the WWE building and get the briefcase on the roof.
Which I loved, by the way.
I loved.
It was so good.
I loved up until the point where they literally had one of their wrestlers throw two other wrestlers off the roof.
Now, bear in mind that this building is like 11 stories high, something like that. And they literally had a character that they're so desperately trying to push as this murderous heel. To be fair, he is a good heel. He's good at his job. But, they have him throw Rey Mysterio and another wrestler called Aleister Black, who is amazing, by the way, throws them both over the roof on this 11-foot fucking building.
Obviously there was like your safety mats and things, but Vince demonstrated it. They had the same wrestler throw Vince off the roof because Vince wanted to show them how to do it, and he's like 75, and he's like, "Throw me off a building."
So this man has absolutely no chill. He's just like, "Yeah, do it, whatever."
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the betting the thought went through? Throw me off the roof. Shall I just throw him a little extra too hard so he misses the mats? He told me to do it, Your Honour. I'm not guilty of anything.
Oh no, Triple H is running the company now. That's such a shame.
like to give him his credit, like he won't force anyone to do it. He won't force anyone to do anything that he won't do. Like, if someone's worried about something, he will demonstrate and do it himself to show them, like, it's safe. In his mind, it's safe. But to get on to the
completely harmless.
to get on to the unfortunate side of things, there is a wrestling term called heat, and heat basically means people being mad at you, like, people angry at you.
You've pissed off the staff.
Yeah. So there's a wrestler called Sami Zayn, who is an internet darling. This basically means, like, everyone that isn't like the WWE diehard loves this guy, like, to death. Like, and he's someone that hasn't really ever been given a chance in the WWE. The fans want him to. The fans want him to be given a chance, but he's never been given one, really. So most recently, 90 days ago, he won the Intercontinental Championship, which is the company's secondary title. Now, the rival company of WWE, which is AEW, when this whole coronavirus thing started, they said, if you don't want to come in, don't. Do not feel like you need to come in and work. Your position in the company will not be touched. Like you will maintain your push, all of that. And the WWE, a couple of weeks after that, announced the same thing. Like, oh yeah, if you don't want to come in and work, that's fine. Now, Sami Zayn took the company up on this recently. He was like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable about coming in and wrestling. I don't feel comfortable traveling during this thing, which is absolutely understandable. And bear in mind that they said that your position in the company would not be touched. They stripped him of the championship.
Ooh.
Now, you know who Brock Lesnar is, yeah?
Oh, the name's familiar. I just can't place it.
Yeah, same.
He's an absolute he's an absolute meathead.
Yeah.
He's a part-timer, which means he's under contract part-time. And he only comes into the company when, or he only comes in to have a match when it's really required of him. So he will sometimes only have about 3 matches, maybe 4 matches, if you're lucky, a year. This means that if he's got the championship, which most times he does, you will not be seeing the main title on the show for majority of the year. Now, someone like Brock Lesnar can be off TV for months upon months and they'll be stripped of the title. Sami Zayn's off TV for 2-3 weeks and he gets stripped of the title.
It sounds just like business. Them being like, yeah, but you don't bring us enough money, so...
It's not just Sami Zayn. So one of WWE's biggest stars is called Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
He's related to The Rock. That's all I need to say. So he's had leukemia twice, beaten it, and his wife has just given birth to twins. Now he pulled out of WrestleMania because he didn't feel safe during the coronavirus pandemic. He's not been back on screen, so Vince McMahon has got so pissed off at this man who has beaten leukemia twice and has no immune system. He's been so pissed off at this man not turning up to work. He's told all commentators that his name is not to be mentioned. He's removed all footage of him from previous videos.
This sounds like a jealous ex.
Doesn't it? Literally, he's gone, I don't care that you've had leukemia twice and you're looking after your newborn kids. You've not turned up to work, so I'm deleting your number and blocking your calls.
Why is he not messaging me back? I messaged him. Fine, I'm going to cut him out of all of my pictures.
Literally. It's just... It's like WWE released 40 wrestlers because of coronavirus pandemic, but they're still on set to have their most successful year ever.
And the fact that they are also sat on $500 million in cash reserves.
Wow.
But they've released 40 people because they can't afford them.
You guys remember a couple of years ago when Activision fired 800 people, even though it was their most profitable year yet?
Yeah.
It just stinks of that. It just stinks of corporate going, we made a lot of money, but we could make more if we fired people.
But then this is also the same man who paid Donald Trump an £18 million fine so he can still... £18 million bribe so he can still record live shows.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, think how much of that 80 million came from those 40 wrestlers that were just fired.
But no, those 40 wrestlers have saved them $5 million a year.
That's it.
That's it.
See, so he'll recoup that in what? 16 years.
It's just. But the thing is they did this to these wrestlers via phone, knowing that these wrestlers can't currently go out and look for another job.
Now, like another issue is the company is well known for hoarding talent, for hoarding professional wrestlers. So once a professional wrestler gets really big on the indie scene or just very popular, they'll go, I'll take you, thank you very much. And then they do nothing with them. Literally nothing. They literally have them so that the rival company cannot pick them up. Now, when these wrestlers tend to ask for their release, a majority of the time they'll say no. If they're lucky, they'll give them their release, but then they still have a 30 to 90 day no-compete clause. Which they're still getting paid by the company, but they can't go out and work for somewhere else. they've given the wrestlers, I think it was 90 days, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've given the wrestlers that they released 90 days of a no-compete clause, knowing full well that the rival company, AEW, or any other rival promotion, is not hiring because they cannot put on shows. So they're literally paying these guys for 90 days, and after that, they've got no source of income whatsoever. Nothing.
I was going to suggest the good thing to do, but then I know Vince isn't a good man. But the good thing to do would be pay him for 90 days, but cancel that no compete. Because
Exactly.
why on God's earth are you keeping them on a no compete when you're letting them go?
So the best thing is there was a tag team called the Revival.
Don't get me started on this. I'll talk for days.
They asked for an early release, and Vince said, "We'll give you your early release as long as everything that you have paid your own money for to get copyrights on, you give to us."
What?
So the Revival said yes, signed it all over. Then the moment the Revival got released, they went straight back to whoever it is and reapplied for the copyrights before WWE could.
Ooh! Ooh!
So they've just kind of gone, yeah, well, fuck you, WWE. But they're like, they've been treated horribly, those guys.
Absolutely horribly.
The worst thing WWE do is if you get injured under contract, so say you break your arm while wrestling for WWE and you can't wrestle for 2 months, WWE will then add 2 months onto your contract because you've not wrestled for those 2 months while you've got injured wrestling for them.
Wow.
So, to give another example, there was a wrestler called Luke Harper, who was very unhappy in his position in the company, and he wanted his release. He asked for his release in, I think, July last year.
Yeah.
And his contract was meant to end in, like, August the same year or something. But then they basically said, oh, well, because you're out injured for, like, 7 months, we've put those 7 months on your contract. So he asked for his release, but they denied it because he still had basically, like, 9 months to 10 months to run out on his contract.
What I don't get is, like, just from a legal contractual perspective, unless those contracts specifically state that, and if they do, why on God's earth are you signing them? But unless they specifically state that, you can't breach contract like that. You can't just change the conditions of a contract after it's been signed.
You should work in retail.
It's illegal.
Yes, but you should work in retail.
Start suing people that start breaching contracts.
I mean,
Okay, but if I did that, I wouldn't have an employer.
WWE do have 350 previous employees suing them for concussion claims.
Wow.
To just basically give you an idea of how shitty they used to be, not now. No, not now, but, because they're perfect now. Like how shitty they used to be.
I think that was sarcasm.
There was a wrestler called Chris Benoit. Generally, one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots. Such a good wrestler. Fantastic. But he had personal demons. He had an addiction to painkillers, alcohol, and towards the end of his career, he became very depressed. And he had an ungodly amount of concussions. Now, the company at this time didn't really take concussions seriously. It was just kind of like, oh, what's that? You bumped your head, you got a headache? Okay, just get out and continue the match. So, this is a man that lost his best friend, like basically his brother, had the mind, basically, after the autopsy, it was revealed that he had the mind of like an 87-year-old man, or something like that.
With Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Yeah, with Alzheimer's.
Wow.
And that's why
He was 48.
Yeah. And this all led to him committing double murder-suicide. on his
What?
child and his wife
Oh wow.
because he was not there. He was essentially just a completely different person. Like all the concussions, the alcohol, the painkillers, the depression, it's like caught up to him and just basically killed him inside. And he just done it. And the more depressing thing is he left his best friends, he left his friends a voicemail. It's basically saying that I love you, like I'm sorry. And people were obviously like, what's going on? And people that spoke to him on that day said he was fine, like in the morning, in the afternoon, but he just never showed up for work. And obviously that came out. And that's all because the company never took the concussion seriously.
Hey Vince, just one quick thing for you. I know it's a radical idea. Maybe give your wrestlers healthcare. Just a thought.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. They don't have healthcare even now.
Why? If they're going to have someone on contract for them for a long length of time, you'd want to make sure that they're fit enough to be able to do the thing you've contracted them for.
Oh yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure. I have to shoot off.
No worries, it's been great talking to you again.
And you, my darling daughter is up and about.
It's fine.
It's been an absolute pleasure, guys.
Pleasure meeting you.
And
Pleasure.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. But yeah. To just quickly finish off on that, the wrestlers have no healthcare. So when he did, when it did come out showing that, hey, this guy has had this amount of concussions, this is why he's like this. The company was just basically like, oops.
Not our fault though. Nothing to do with us. Sorry. Ha! I can't see us. Bye.
Would it be a fair sweeping generalisation for me to go, America?
Yes. It'd be very fair.
Okay, and for our last topic today.
Ooh.
Our last one. Sony State of Play was a couple of days ago. Now, you guys didn't see this, did you?
No, I
did
didn't.
not
Sorry.
watch
I
the
keep
reveal
coughing.
for Ghosts of Sushi.
Ghost of Sushi. Ghost of Tsushima. Okay.
No, sorry, I prefer the Ghosts of Sushi. I'd love to see all of that just staring back at you like, why? Why have you eaten me? Why have you done this to me?
See?
So this, as you two both know, this is my most anticipated game of this year. It's Cyberpunk. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is one of my most.
You almost said sushi.
Yeah, I did. Shut up. It's one of my most anticipated games, just because there hasn't really been an open world samurai game, which I know but generally from what I can remember, there hasn't been. I think the only one that kind of comes to mind is The Way of the Samurai, and that was not really open world. It was kind of like open town. Now, Sony State of Play revealed it was just, I think, 30 minutes of just Ghost of Tsushima. That was it. Just that, which I think was a good move, personally, because it's probably their biggest game, at the moment, aside from Last of Us, and Last of Us has got a lot of controversy on it. So they're just like, you know what, let's just show this. People want it. Let's just give them everything we've got right now. And from what I understand, I think they're going to be doing another one, maybe, just before the game releases. Now, it showed the environment, some of the mechanics, and obviously, most importantly, gameplay. It didn't really show any story, which I'm thankful for, because judging by the game, the story's going to be huge. The gameplay looked extremely slick, like to the point where there was a point in the show where it just showed that you can do a duel with an enemy. So you just walk over, you press a button, and then you both engage in a duel. And the way how it was done was, you both stand there, you both sort of get ready, and then I imagine the press of a button, you duel. But it's not like a ching chang chung ching. It's like class and shorts. That sounds extremely racist. I'm probably
That was super racist. we'll just bleep that entire bit so no one else hears it.
Like, so it starts like, and it's not the kind of thing where you draw your swords and you clash swords or like anything like that. Like, it's just very samurai-esque. Like, just one strike and the guy, like, his head just rolled off, kind of thing. And then it showed both skill trees. It showed you as a samurai and as a ghost, which is essentially ninja. And the samurai, I mean, like, you walked into the camp, you just took down these guys in like one hit, like so good. Like these counters just gone. But like off the corner of the screen, there was a guy shooting arrows at you. And he was deflecting the arrows with his sword, deflecting them and cutting them in half, like mid-shot. While battling the other three guys, which looked incredible, looked so good. And then they continued to go on and show the ghost. And the ghost was very. It reminded me kind of a little bit of Assassin's Creed, but like old Assassin's Creed, where it was just like the assassinations could kill someone in one blow.
Yeah.
But then he came up to this big guy, tried to assassinate him, and instead of just blatantly saying assassination, it said critical strike. And what he done was he jammed one of his kunai into like his neck, but then this guy pushed him off, and then a fight ensued. And it all looks so slick. The environment looks absolutely gorgeous. One of my most favourite takeaways from watching this was it's such a minor detail, but the way how you traverse the map is there's no like waypoint and stuff like that. You know, you don't follow a line on the map or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but essentially, you follow leaves. You follow like the breeze. And Jin, the main character, can kind of like meditate for a second, and then there'll be like a breeze just like showing these leaves going across, and then you follow that. There's also a thing where birds will sometimes lead Jin to areas that have previously been unvisited. And that just seemed like a really cool idea to me. Like,
they're trying to make it like really contextual and really inbuilt, and I'm gonna say it, immersive.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make it super just natural, so it's not like, oh, you got a mini map and follow this waypoint.
Yeah.
It's just in the world. It takes
I much prefer how this sounds. I much prefer that way.
Now another thing that they showed, which I probably won't use it, but it's there, which I guess is kind of cool. Now Sucker Punch have revealed so many times that they are huge fans of like classic old samurai movies. And you can really feel like the love put in here, because they've put in a mode specifically for those kind of people, for the people that love those old timely like 60s, 50s samurai films. Where you just get a grainy filter like over the screen, and there'll be like this really cheesy samurai music playing, and it looks fun. Like, I mean, I'll probably try it a few times, but I don't know if I'll ever like just mainly do that. And something that was a very smart idea, I think, is they have got in a Japanese voice cast. So you can play the game in both English and Japanese. Now,
Hey.
obviously, the game is being developed by an American studio, which is kind of almost unheard of like an American studio making this kind of like Japanese level game. But they've brought in a Japanese studio, which by the sounds of it, they look really good. So it just looks like that Sucker Punch have just pulled out everything, all the punches, to just get this game exactly how they want it. And I'm loving the look of it. Like, normally I try not to get too hyped up on trailers, but this one was just looked so good. Like to anyone that hasn't seen it, I highly recommend you go out and just watch it. It's just 30 minutes. It's so informative and it's just juicy.
I'll try and watch it before the Sunday show, and then we can talk about it more there. Is the combat? Is it a Souls-like?
No.
Thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh.
The biggest worry in your life now is any game that sounds or looks good to you is it a Souls-like?
They're everywhere, and it doesn't. I'm not saying Souls-like are bad, but oh my God, stop, please.
The best description I think I can give it is, you know, the old Assassin's Creed combat style where you just press Y and then you counter the attack.
Yep.
That mixed with Shadow of Wars or Shadow of Mordor's combat, and maybe a bit of Sekiro as well, but not like the difficulty aspect, just like the amount of like quick strikes you can pull out.
See, I do think more games should use the like the Shadow of War kind of. What was it? Batman did it first. The Batman Arkham series.
Yeah, you basically press Y to counter, and then I
love that kind of combat. It works really well. It makes you feel like a proper badass.
Yeah. One thing that I was very hesitant about at first, just like specifically because I was not sure if they would include it, but I'm so glad they did, and that's archery. Now, it's just because like, I don't know, like there's just something in the back of my mind thinking, okay, well they're clearly like focusing so heavily on the katana aspect here, on the sword fight and the dueling, that maybe they won't include archery. But in this gameplay reveal, they showed it, like outright showed Jin pull out a bow and arrow from his back, pull out and got a headshot, and it just looked so satisfying to the point where I cannot wait to just hold LT or L1 L2 sorry, jeez, and press R2 and just it looks like the archery in Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War I thought was really good, but it kind of annoyed me to a point because you only had a certain amount of arrows and a certain amount of time to do it.
Yeah.
This looks like that system, but you can just do it all the time.
So the Shadow of War archery, it kind of felt, I don't know, to me it felt kind of, it was good drawing the bow, it was good shooting the bow, but I always wanted more of a realism. The arrow didn't feel like it hit.
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel more just like, bang! Like I actually hit him in the head with an arrow. Not he's going to be like, "Roar, you're there!" It's like, I beat you in the head with an arrow.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy that he shot in the head, it looked very realistic to the point where like he kind of flung back from the impact of the arrow hitting his head. So like his head went back first.
Good. I'm glad they're putting in like a lot of, I want to say like realism to it, keeping it quite grounded.
One thing that I'm kind of hoping for is the Japanese are very heavy on their mythology. I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be any kind of aspect in that. There probably isn't, which like I don't mind. But for me personally, like I would love to see some like kind of like what Neo 2 did, where it like brung in like these Oni and yokai and stuff like that into the picture. I'm kind of wondering if like a game on the scale of Ghost of Tsushima, if it doesn't like that could be insane.
circle back all the way back to where we started. Odyssey. Odyssey brought in like the fantasy creatures. Obviously, not going to spoil it because you guys didn't fight many of them, but they brought in like the fantasy creatures into the world in a way that they explained it, and I actually really enjoyed that. I think that should be like mythology. Obviously, it's not real, but why can't we just pretend just for a little bit?
Yeah.
Why can't we just say that? Hey, guess what? Yeah, you're on that pirate ship. Look out, there's a kraken. What? Why can't we do that? It's fun.
One thing that I want to quickly say before we end this, is I generally love how Soccer Punts have been really quiet about this game. Like they've been really quiet, like minus maybe 1 or 2 trailers that have been out. But aside from that, they've wanted to keep it all kind of like secret. Like, I mean, to the point where they haven't really revealed anything about the story, which I kind of love, because that means that when you get into the story, it's all going to be like, oh, okay, this is cool. Obviously, there is that, like, I guess, that risk of the story not being that good, and maybe that's why they haven't shown it.
But we can live in hope, surely.
Look, like, I have complete faith that Soccer Punts will knock this out the park. Like, I mean, they are the developers of the Infamous series, which I think are very good. Is very good. So I think the game's in good hands.
I'm glad. I'm glad that, because the Infamous kind of feel like, I always liked the look of it, but it kind of felt like it kind of died.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like there was something there, but they just didn't have the player base to maintain it. I'm glad they've got another chance, and they're doing something that, from what you've told me, sounds more like a passion project, rather than, okay, let's make a video game. Sounds more like we love this setting, we love the culture, so we're going to make a game about it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw it, like, the first time when it was, like they just done, like, the very quick reveal at E3 3 years ago? I thought it was going to be a continuation of Onimusha. Just because of the look of it. Just because of, like it primarily showed him as a ghost. So, I was like, oh, shit, is this, like, going to be a continuation? Oh, okay. And obviously they then came out and said, oh, no, this is Ghost of Tsushima. And which is fine. I mean, like, it's obviously fine because I'm looking so forward to it. But basically what I'm trying to say is, Capcom, can you please make another Onimusha game, please?
I am right there with you.
I think Capcom has bigger games to make, like, more important games in the forefront of their mind that they should be making.
Like Dragon's Dogma.
Like Dragon's Dogma 2.
We've got to end it there, right? With unanimous approval that, hey, Capcom, make Dragon Dogma 2 now.
Hey, Capcom, look at this channel with like 11 subscribers. Please make Dragon's Dogma 2.
Do it, or we'll come after you.
No, we won't come after them. We'll just give them a little outside incentive to make it, shall we? Won't come after them.
I'll promise I'll buy it twice.
About on PC and Xbox and PS4.
Well,
just
I was
not
going
Google
to say,
Stadia. Seriously.
To be fair,
don't release it on Google Stadia.
Anyone with any sense won't release on Google Stadia. That thing is a car crash, I think, would be the polite way to put it.
It's a thing.
It's not even a thing.
Anyway, I think we've made up for semi-good time this episode. So I think I'd want to end there because normally we tend to drag these kind of things out. Sorry about that. Michael, where can our lovely viewers find you?
On Twitter at MichaelTSSS.
He remembers!
I just love how you can hear this like the cogs turning like SSS.
Yeah, it's like
Sometimes
TS.
serious show.
Yeah, but my brain went, yeah, it's the sometimes serious show, and I went, wait, how many S's is that?
You never believe we started this channel, would you?
Philip, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter at @thebob777.
And I am on Twitter at Pambam. You can also catch me on Twitch. I try to stream from Monday to Thursday. That's at the same name, Pambam, but _.
And no, he hasn't streamed Turok yet.
We will make him, don't worry.
Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure to give us that like and subscribe and bang our bell. Bang our bell. Bang our
Bang
bell.
the bell
Bang
and
the bell.
share it. If you enjoyed it, share it with someone else you think might enjoy it.
Thank you and a goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.